Hey guys, welcome back to Poised and Progress. I am your host, Aria. Today is kind of a spontaneous episode. I'm also getting ready for dinner at the same time, so if you hear me opening and closing stuff, that is me. But I wanted to hop on because I had planned out a whole episode for you guys, but I was just kind of not feeling it because I think it was just gearing too much towards 20s this and 20s that, and that's not really the purpose of this podcast. It's not really just to highlight so many things of the 20s. I just really want to empower people to realize how much time that they have and maximize that time and really, live their life to the fullest, right? So I wanted to kind of gear away from that. And today, I had a client who actually kind of inspired me to do this type of talk. I really don't know exactly what I'll be talking about because, like I said, we have no script, no plan out, nothing. But today was such a crazy day at work. It was definitely a wacky Friday. I felt really overwhelmed. Literally at 7 a.m., phone is flooded with messages, and that is the downside of being a business owner is literally it doesn't wait for you to get to work. It happens well before you even clock in or even open your eyes, right? And my first message I got was actually from my client from the night before, and she had an allergic reaction. Now, I've never had anybody have an allergic reaction to lash extensions. And at the end of the appointment yesterday, she had mentioned something happening with a different service. And, I didn't know about it beforehand. And I was like, it should be okay, but, keep me posted or whatever. And, she ended up have a reaction, and she was asking to come in for a removal, right? And I had such a to-do list today, so many things. And the next one, clients trying to come, clients wanting to reschedule, clients just a lot of messages, right? A lot of messages. And I slept so bad the night before. I literally woke up, and I guess I was clenching my jaw so hard because I can open my mouth, but opening it enough to eat or eating it hurts. And so I didn't eat today. I just had a croissant, which is nothing, y'all. And so, so that's basically my day. And at the end of the day, she came as my last client. I was really stressed out because, although my booking site says no refunds, I did feel bad about the fact that, she got them done. Yes, this was not my doing. I still just felt bad because, she came, she paid and stuff like that. And so I was going to do a partial refund, right? And she comes in and we start the removal. And the first two times that she has came to me, we really have not talked or anything. And this time we were just chatting, but it was very light stuff. And we found out we had a lot of mutual people and whatever. And we get to the end of the appointment, and I asked for her Cash App for me to do it. And she was like, no, you're good. I don't want you to do that because you gave me excellent service. You were very attentive, and you were really trying to get me accommodated and stuff. I really do appreciate it. And I was like, oh, well, thank you so much. Because I was just stressing about it the whole day. Anytime my work, somebody, something happens with my work or is involved or whatever, I stress about that until I see that person. I do. It doesn't matter how small of inconvenience it is or how big it is. I stress about it so much because I want to give people what they want, and I want my work to show, And so when we get to the end, I can tell she's kind of walking around and stuff like that, not really just carrying up and getting out of there, right? And she turns to me, she was like, can I pray for you? And I was like, yeah. The prayers that she did was so good. I really felt everything she was praying about, God was actually visually showing me, so that's how I knew this was his doing, and she was being obedient in that way. And that was such a special experience to have. Like, I even started tearing up because I know I come off as Miss Boss Woman and has everything together, but things obviously are not like that in real life. And it has been like a struggle because I don't know if I mentioned this on the pod when I introduced myself, but I don't know. I have a chronic stomach illness, and I've been having this since I was 14, and it will flare up at any time. It does not care how good I eat or how much less stress I'm on. It just pops up at any time, and it's been kind of affecting me these last couple of days. And anytime like I start to flare, that's when I notice I stress the most, because I feel, because it takes me so much like out of my routine, because it literally keeps me bedridden. It takes up so much time in the day when I have to deal with it, that like, you know, it stresses me out, especially if I have a whole bunch of things planned, right? And then on top of that, I did mention in my first episode or second one about my car situation, what happened with that. And I don't think I really ever got through the feeling of being like my privacy or my stuff being violated like it was. Like, I'll give a little brief. Pretty much, I woke up one morning getting ready for school, and somebody had completely like vandalized my car, right? They completely messed it up. And I've never had something like that happen. To this day, I still have no clue who did that, or if it was meant for me or meant for someone else. But since that's such a big question mark, it's hard for me to not associate that with myself, because I'm a big self-aware person. Like, I'm very self-aware. That's why we do this podcast. Like, I'm very self-aware. And so for that to have lacked, for someone to be able to violate my space like that, that has played a lot of roles to where like I'm like having nightmares, and I'm like waking up in like a sweat or like out of breath because I feel like somebody's out to get me, right? So anyways, that was just kind of a good way for me to like really realize how much God has done for me, even in that time that everything had happened with my car, or even just with my freaking stomach too. Like, even though like I still remember when the first year of my business, in the first like couple months of me starting it, I remember I went through a big flare stage, and I remember just thinking like, how am I going to, you know, work? Like, how am I going to work if I'm still dealing with this? Because I get this false realization, like I feel like one day it's just not going to affect me anymore. And I'm like, okay, like whenever I'm done flaring, I'm like, okay, it's never going to happen again. And then it happens again. I'm like, I don't know why I keep doing that to myself. But anyways, yeah, so I always think it's not going to happen again. And then it happens again. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I have a business now. Like, what if I have to cancel a client because of this, da da da. And like, here I am going on year 2 and haven't had to do that, you know? And that shows like sometimes we just really stress about things that really they're not for us to worry like that. Like, it's not for us to worry that intensely about something that hasn't happened yet. And I want to make that so clear to everyone that even if you look like you have everything together, stuff is still daunting on you, and that's okay to take a step back or even just reevaluate what is going right for you. Like, when she was talking to me, it just really helped me realize how much I have overcome over the years, how much I have really stuck to the plan, like really stuck to the plan. And there's really no reason for me to sit there and think that God's not going to take care of me, that God's not looking out for me, that he's not watching and trying to always direct me into going into the right people, right? What I want to talk to you guys about today is taking a step back and realizing even if you don't do anything better tomorrow, you just doing what you do now is okay. We see on social media so much of, oh, you have to be this productive. You have to wake up at 5 a.m. You have to have this type of diet. You have to work out this much. And I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit up here and be a hypocrite. I know my social media shows that. You know how I know that shows that? Is because my clients come in. It's like, I'm going to channel my inner Arya, and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. So I know my content that I post for like my business page and stuff, it looks like I'm always at 100%. And the thing is that I don't operate how you guys may have seen me in videos like that 24/7. There's times where I sleep in a long time. There's times that I do absolutely nothing. There's times that I procrastinate on things. There's times that I just literally drop the ball. Like, for the first time ever, right, yesterday, I did not read the booking correctly because this client usually books for 10 a.m. and I didn't even clock that she had booked for 9 a.m. this time. And so I stupidly assumed that this was at 10 a.m. and I thought it was, and I was late. You know, I was late to work, which is a first for me, y'all. It's such a first for me, especially for the first client of the day. That's so a first for me. And like, I'm not 100% every day that I wake up. But the beauty is that I don't try to start over. You know, when I have days like, you know, this week where I just didn't do exactly like buy the book and stuff like that. I don't say like, oh, I'm going to start on Monday. I don't say, oh, I'm going to start the next week or I'm just going to try to catch up that same day, that same experience. Like, okay, maybe like I was late, but you know, I still was able to finish on time. I was still able to get to all my other clients, like, you know, early. I didn't have to push anybody back. You know, I was still able to give good service, you know, and there's no point in me like stealing that back. Like, I think I was so big on like trying to wake up at 5:30 a.m. like it was going to somehow, some way make me just like the perfect human. And the thing is I feel like I've been in the season of people telling me how they feel about me, and it's not bad stuff either. It's really good stuff. Like, it's actually what I strive to be like every day. And to hear that from other people, it's been helping me take the pressure off and assuming that I'm like way behind. Like, I want to read y'all what ChatGPT said to me. I don't use ChatGPT often, but I do use it for some stuff. And it's like this trend on TikTok where it was saying like, write an unhinged bio about me to ChatGPT. And this is what it said. It said Aria Watson, which crazy, it knows my last name. But anyways, it says, part esthetician, part future med spa mongol, part I cried for 10 minutes and now I'm booked and busy again. Built a beauty business with steady hands and a mind that's already 10 steps ahead, while simultaneously navigating nursing school, a podcast, a 20s identity crisis, and an undeniable urge to reinvent her life every 3 to 5 business days. Specializes in lashes so good your situationship will suddenly act right, and brows so sharp they cut off weak energy on contact. Operates on a strict schedule of discipline, delusion, the productive kind, and eye strengths. We'll give you a full set, a life reset, and a subtle reminder to get your priorities together, all under 2 hours. CEO of I'm Figuring Out But Make It Aesthetic. Emotionally self-aware, financially ambitious, and one minor inconvenience away from a dramatic monologue that somehow turns into a business plan. Catch her building an empire, healing, rebranding, and refusing to be average, sometimes all before lunch. Now, that's so crazy because like reading my best friends one was crazy too, but it's so crazy, like, even though that's AI and stuff like that, to be like low-key like right on the head of like what I'm like is so funny to me because like, man, like everybody sees this great person and yet I feel like I'm not, you know? And I think we all feel like that sometimes. Like, we all like have that doubt about ourselves. Especially, I'm talking to my people who you're trying to convince yourself that you're not a bad person. And let me cook here for a second, because I know that sounds kind of crazy. I feel like because I'm so like get what I need, I feel like I'm not as nice of a person because I grew up around a lot of people who were like people pleasers, you know, like friends and family and stuff like that. And I just could never relate. I could never relate to people pleasing other people. You know why? Because I've seen those same people literally get ran over or overrun by the people they were people pleasing. So it never made sense for me to go down that same path. And I feel like I'm always trying to convince myself that I'm still a nice person. Like, I know I'm a nice person. You know, like, I know, like, I go above and beyond for the people. But I think because I don't do that for everyone, I think for somehow, some way, like, I'm the issue. But the realization is that I actually just do it for the people who deserves it in my life. Like, you know, I don't do that for random people or people who I know don't have my best interests or just are evil, vile people for me. Like, I do that for the people that I care about and that love me and I love them. You know, I will go that extra mile for them. And because I sometimes feel like that, I feel like I kind of beat myself up and I try to stretch myself too thin sometimes because I'm like, okay, Aria, like, you need to give your little ounce of, you know, doing whatever anybody says, you know, so people don't think you're like a horrible person. It's so weird. Like, if you deal with it, you're like the only person who gets it. Like, you get it. Like you get it. Like, I don't know. We sometimes just like, we just do too much. Like, we absolutely do absolutely too much. And it doesn't make any sense to push yourself so far that you will end up being sick or being like down and depressed and stuff like that. Like, our life is going to be just fine if we don't do certain things that we just don't want to do. Like, I am very disciplined and stuff like that, but there's just some stuff that I just don't do, you know? Like, if I just feel myself having too much going on and I can see myself stretching thin, I will just not do stuff. I will go ghost for a while, and that is okay. I was talking to a friend earlier, like, I was just thinking of her and I was like, you know what, I need to go ahead and reach out and see how she's doing or whatever. And, you know, she was mentioning to me like just some hardships she's going through and stuff. And I was like, man, like, I'm over here giving her this advice to, like, you know, just stay, do what you can, don't do what you can, and don't override yourself. And I literally can't even listen to that to myself. Like, as I'm telling her, I'm going through crap at the same time. Like, literally, as I'm telling her that thing. But the thing is that we need to start listening to when our break is. Like, I told her, like, I go through like a 3-step thing, and I do it, like, where I just really pick my 3 that I prioritize. Like, right now, my priority is always gonna be my business is on there. My business is always on there. I'm not in school right this second, so school's not on there right now. Health and socializing, like, that's literally my 3 right now. It's my 3, and that's all I'm working on. Everything else can just wait. It can wait. Like, I wish we kind of understood how much things can wait. Things can wait. Everything is not so immediate. And I know. I do the same thing. Like, yeah, it feels like you need to go and do this thing right here, right now, da-da-da-da-da. But no, you don't. You can take your time. You can take your time and really figure out what is best for you in that time. Like, not everything you want to do can happen, but maybe it's not at this particular season, and that's so okay. It's so okay. Like, I just feel like my client praying on me just really, like, it just really told me, like, Aria, you can take your time, you can breathe. You don't have to be everything. And I think me hearing like things from friends and stuff saying like how well I'm doing and stuff like that, because I feel like people from my past are like reaching out and like telling me how good I'm doing. Um, it also, I feel like her praying on me like helped me realize, okay, you are not superwoman just because these people seen the work you did. They're applauding you. Take it, thank them for it, but don't think you have to be so massive. Like, yes, I want to take up space, but like, I think hearing it does give me a lot of energy, energy to keep going, energy to keep advancing. But I have to understand I'm already doing a lot. And that's what we all need to realize. We're already doing a lot. Like, and I'm talking for my people who are like me. You're literally juggling 50 million things and you're looking good while doing it. Like, like you don't have to add in everything. You're not going to miss anything that is meant for you. Like, you're not going to miss anything. And I truly believe that, because I remember feeling like my business, like, because I didn't start it in 2020 when everybody named Mama was a lash artist, that I was going to miss this. Guys, oh my goodness. Like, this particular month, I wasn't even booked fully every single day. Literally made the most I've ever made in my business this month. Crazy. Like, why did I ever think that this thing that was meant for me would miss me? And we all need that realization sometimes. Like, listen to the people around you, like, who are lifting you up. Like, what are they saying? They could actually really be helping you, not even just by saying it, but by realizing how far you came. Because regardless of where you're at in your journey and where you want to go, you're still a lot further than when you first started the journey. And if you just started the journey, you're like, I just started. You still made a big step by realizing that the old life you were living was not going to satisfy you and that you need something more. Because, when they talk about alcoholics or drug addicts and stuff like that, like, the biggest step is realizing you have a problem. So if you realize you had a problem and now you're ready to fix it, that's still so much to be happy and thankful and grateful about, y'all. I didn't want to make this episode very long. I just wanted to kind of come on here and give like some encouragement, something just to help whoever would need this. If you went through a really tough week, kind of like myself, and just were kind of just feeling like you're about to go underwater, this is what I wanted you guys to know for this week. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope it came off great for you guys. If you are not following the Poised in Progress Instagram, make sure you guys go follow that. I do post on there little sneak peeks of the new episode coming up and stuff, so that you guys can just see, like, you guys will be the first to know and everything like that. I will be starting a TikTok pretty soon. For some reason, when I try to make the new TikTok, it keeps logging me into my current TikTok. So once I figure that out, we will be on TikTok as well. So if you guys are more of a TikToking group, then we'll be on there as well. But make sure you guys leave me a 5-star rating if you are listening to this on podcast, or if you are listening to this on YouTube, make sure you guys give me a thumbs up and a comment down below. And I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.